Snoozer! Sorry, pal. Forgot to put you together again. Alright, what do we need? We need your trunk. No, too dusty. Alright, what's the trunk? Much better. Alrighty, what do we need, Snoozer? Your googly eyes, that's what we need. Have you together real quick. Right, Snoozer, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, Snoozer, I forgot your battery! Hold on. Alright, Snoozer, I'll have you together in a jiff. Snoozer.
Hello! I am Snoozer!
Snoozer, how you doing, buddy?
Checkers! I feel hyper!
Yeah, I thought that might happen, Snoozer. That's because I gave you a new battery today. Don't worry, we'll settle in pretty quickly. But are you ready for our trip today?
Absolutely! Where are we going?
Snoozer, you know it's a surprise. But don't worry, this is going to be a fantastic reading road trip.
Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Seatbelt.
Check. Backpack?
Check, check. All right, Snoozer. Ascending in 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Autopilot activated.
Now where are we going?
All right, Snoozer, I'll give you 3 hints, and let's see if you can get it. Hint number 1. It is really big. Hint number 2. It's outdoor. And hint number 3. There are lots and lots of different animals roaming around.
This is very difficult.
No, it is not. It is obviously a safari.
Sucks! You ruined my guessing game! I had a perfect score!
No, you didn't. You didn't get the last one right.
Yes, I did! The Science Museum, remember?
Okay, yeah, the one before that then, wasn't it?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. Okay, anyway, Snoozer, that doesn't matter. We are going to be meeting some of the greatest animals all around the world. Animals we wouldn't otherwise see anywhere else.
Really?
Well, actually, Snoozer, the animal we're going to be visiting today isn't an animal that we would normally see in North America.
It's not?
Nope, I'm talking about the camel.
The camel isn't from North America? What is this madness?
Hey, Zod, can you give us some information about camels and tell Snoozer where they come from?
Zot, the robot, at your service. Activating excited voice. There are 2 types of camels. 1-humped, or dromedary, camels and 2-humped Bactrian camels. Camels have 3 sets of eyelids and 2 rows of eyelashes to keep sand out of their eyes. Camels have thick lips, which let them forage for thorny plants other animals can't eat. Camels can completely shut their nostrils during sandstorms. Camels are very strong and can carry up to 900 pounds for 25 miles a day. A camel's hump can store up to 80 pounds of fat, which the camel can live on for weeks or even months. Though deserts are short on water supply, when a camel finally does find water, it can drink up to 40 gallons in one go.
Goodbye. See, Snoozer, camels don't normally live in North America, unless they're domesticated. Where camels do normally live is in the...
Desert animals?
Snoozer, not dessert animals. We're talking about desert animals.
Oh, where are deserts?
Well, I'll show you, Snoozer. A desert is a barren area of landscape where little precipitation occurs, and consequently, living conditions are hostile for plant and animal life. Here's a world map. The deserts are highlighted. Only animals with special abilities can live in the deserts, like the Komodo dragon or the camel.
Special? What's special about camels?
Well, Snoozer, camels are able to store fat in their body for long periods of time. That's why they have the humps on their back.
Fascinating. I'd like to read a book about a camel.
You know what, Snoozer? We might have a chance to do that today. But right now, we're on our way to our safari. We are going to be traveling to Rainbow Way. Once we cross through, we'll be right at our destination, Hidden Valley Animal Adventure. Along the way, we're going to be meeting with Dr. Dan for a health tip, and your teacher, Mrs. Hamilton, is going to do a camel craft with you.
Wahoo! This is going to be great!
Oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, Snoozer. But you know what? I just realized something. We forgot to pack a very important item because we're going to be talking about deserts and desert animals. You know what we need? We're going to need some water. Let me push the water button.
Oh.
Snoozer, where's your water?
It bumped off my little head and fell on the ground.
Oh my goodness.
Why is this water so important anyway?
That's a great question, Snoozer. But that's not a good question for me. That's a good question for our friend, Dr. Dan. Let's bring him on right now and call him up and ask him why is water so important for us.
Why is water so important? Well, that's a great question. Now, the simple answer is water is important because we have a lot of it already. 2/3 of our body, about 60 to 70%, is made up of just water. Do you believe that? So when we're going out like you and Checkers, out for an adventure in the desert, it's gonna be really hot. And when it's hot, our body sweats water out of our skin to cool us off. So it's very important that we're constantly drinking to replace that water because our body needs it.
Dr. Dan, I was thinking, camels drink a lot of water. How much should I be drinking in a day?
I'm glad you asked. That's another great question. Well, how much water you should drink a day really depends on how old you are. If you're 5 to 8 years old, you should be drinking about 5 to 6 cups of water a day. If you're 9 to 12 years old, you should be drinking about 7 to 8 cups a day. But all of these are rough approximations. You should drink as much water as you feel you need to stay hydrated.
Well, my water bottle is 16 ounces. How many cups is that?
Oh, Snoozer, you've got all kinds of great questions today, and I think I've got you another answer. Now, a great tool to always have around is very simple, is a measuring cup. And let's see if we can solve your question with this measuring cup. So I've got a bottle of water here, and let's pour it into the measuring cup. And stop at 1 cup. So as we can see on our measuring cup here, 1 cup is exactly 8 ounces. So you, Snoozer, you have a water bottle that is 16 ounces. Let's do a simple calculation. Let's plug in 16 and divide it by 8. 16 ounces divided by 8 ounces. And what does that equal?
2.
2. So our answer is 16 ounces of water equals 2 cups of water.
Oh, wow.
All right, Snoozer, have a good time. I'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks, Dr. Dan.
And now, the question of the week.
What do you drink when you're thirsty?
What do you drink when you are thirsty?
Water. I drink apple juice.
And what else would you drink?
I would drink water and any other type of juice.
What do you like to drink when you're thirsty?
Warm water. When I'm thirsty, I drink a glass of milk.
Caleb, what do you like to drink when you're thirsty?
Gatorade.
Thanks for joining us for the question of the week.
Well, there you go, Snoozer. Now let's get back on the road trip. Hey, here come the books! Well, let's check out a few. What was the button for that? I always forget. That one?
What did we get?
Here we go, Snoozer. We have... Well, I'll show you.
How the Camel Got Its Hump by Rudyard Kipling. In North American Animals, Coyotes by Chris Bowman.
Coyotes, another desert animal.
But we already know how the camel got its hump, Checkers.
Well, Snoozer, we know the real story of how camels got their hump, but this is telling a make-believe story. It's teaching us an important lesson and giving us kind of a funny version of how the camel might have gotten its hump. People have been doing that for thousands of years. But this story is about a really lazy camel that meets a genie, and the camel is just all about himself. He doesn't help anyone else, he only cares about what he's doing, and the genie ends up teaching him an important lesson. And, well, we're gonna learn how this camel ends up getting its hump. Now, this is a good story about teamwork, helping others, doing our part, and it's also just a really funny story. But remember, it is make-believe. This isn't telling the real story about how camels have humps and why they have humps, but it's just a great story to read, and you can learn a lot from it. But while we're talking about camels here and learning about them, I think this would be a spectacular time for you to do your camel craft with your teacher, Mrs. Hamilton. What do you think about that?
Oh boy! That sounds terrific!
Well, great! Let's bring on Mrs. Hamilton and make our camel craft.
Hi, Mrs. Hamilton!
Hello, Snoozer. Are you ready to make our craft?
Yes, I am!
Well, today we are making a camel, and it looks like this.
Nice!
All right, so let's get moving. We're gonna need scissors, glue, and the rest is up to you. So let's get cutting. Well, I'm finished cutting. Are you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get everything set up here so I know where everything's going before I start gluing. All right, let's get going. Here's mine. How did you do?
Here's my camel.
Well, I had a great time with you. I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.
Bye, Mrs. Hamilton. Did you know? There are over 14 million camels in the world. Camels can run as fast as 40 miles per hour. Wowie, wow, wow, that's fast! Camels live, on average, for 40 to 50 years. A camel can drink around 30 gallons of water in just 13 minutes. The library has tons of books about camels. Visit the library to learn more. That was fun! My camel looks just like the one from the story. But what if I want to learn about real-life camels?
Oh, so you're talking about a nonfiction book. Because you've got the fictional books, and those are the make-believe story. And then you've got nonfiction books, which are about real-life things. So you want to learn about real camels and real animals. Well, you know what? Let's ask Zot for a mix of books about desert animals that are fiction and nonfiction. What do you have for us, Zot? Zot, the robot, at your service. Today's selections are Dear Komodo Dragon by Nancy Kelly Allen, The Tortoise and the Hare, by Aesop. The Foolish Tortoise by Eric Carle. Coyotes Soundbite, a poem for our planet by John Agard. Who Lives Here? Desert Animals by Deborah Hodge. Why Oh Why Are Deserts Dry by Trish Rabe. 6 books to read to learn about desert animals. Goodbye. Thanks, Sat. Wow, what a great selection of books, and I'm sure our librarian can help us find more books about Komodo dragons, tortoises, camels, coyotes, all sorts of great desert animals.
Yes! What about the other book?
Oh, you're right, the other book. It's about coyotes. Let's talk about that one. So this book is giving us real information about coyotes, where they live, what they eat, what they do, and unlike the camels and the Komodo dragon that I talked about, these coyotes actually are native to North America. So we might actually have a chance to see a coyote out in the wild doing its thing. Now, coyotes are really fascinating creatures, and this book's got all sorts of great real-life information about them. So I love reading these books, and these are the kind of books that get me excited to read other books about more animals, and I'd like to read bigger books, longer books, and just really take a deep dive into these animals. So this could be a great start for younger readers, just like you, Snoozer.
Great! I'm so excited to read this book. Coyotes are cute!
Yes, as soon as we get back from our reading road trip tonight, we're going to read this book.
Wow! Now I want to meet one of these animals.
Absolutely. Oh, Snoozer, we're at the rainbow! Well, if we're going to cross through Rainbow Way, we need to be wearing our safety suits. So let's push this button and change into our safety suits.
All right, Snoozer, here we go, going through the rainbow.
Stay tuned as we check in with the library.
Hey guys, can you believe it's already week 2 of summer reading? Wow, it's going fast. I have such a fun book to share today. It's called What About Worms? It's written by Ryan T. Higgins, and there's something special in here. It's from Mo Willems. Let's see what it says, since I do see Elephant and Piggy. It says, Dear Reader, it's so cool that you like to read. Elephant and Piggy like to read too, so I thought I would share some of their favorite books with you. What About Worms is about Tiger, who is worried about worrying about worms. Is that something worth worrying about? Don't worry. I think you'll enjoy this story as much as Elephant and Piggy do. Your pal Mo. That's awesome. So, and I'm sure Mo did all of those illustrations too. And we have permission to read it to you from Hyperion Books. So let's get started. It looks like fun. Gerald? Yes, Piggy? I have a new book, but I cannot make heads or tails of it. Why not? Because it is about worms. It is also about time to get reading. I am a tiger. I am big. I am brave. And I am not afraid of anything. Except worms. Worms are slimy. Worms like to wiggle. And you cannot tell their tops from their bottoms. Oh, look. Flowers. I love flowers. Wait. Flowers grow in dirt. Worms love dirt. And this pot is full of Dirt. What if there are worms in this pot? There are no worms. But I did break the flower pot. Oh, look. An apple. I love apples. Crunch. Oh. No. What about worms? Worms love apples. What if there are worms in my apple? Splat. Whew. There are no worms in my apple, but now I have no flowers and no apple. Worms ruin everything. Thanks a lot, worms. Look out! It's worms! Oh, it is not worms. It is a book. You can learn so much from a book. I love books. Oh no! What if it is a book about worms? Was that a tiger? I'm afraid of tigers. Me too. Tigers are furry. Tigers like to walk. And you can tell their tops from their bottoms. Oh, look. The tiger left some dirt. Worms love dirt. Oh, look. The tiger left an apple. Worms love apples. Munch, munch, munch. Oh, look! The tiger left a book. Worms love books. And it is a book about worms. Worms love worms. Oh, no! This is not a book about worms. It's a book about tigers! Should we read it? Well, I do not know. We're afraid of tigers. We are. But we love books. We do. We need to get to the bottom of this. Or the top. It doesn't matter. Let's try to read it. Oh, wow. I did not know tigers are so big. I did not know tigers are so brave. I did not know tigers are so not afraid of anything. We learned so much, and now worms love tigers. That nice tiger left us dirt, an apple, and a book. Let's give that nice tiger a thank you worm hug. Worm hug, worm hug, worm hug, worm hug, worm hug, worm hug, worm hug. Ah! Did you like that story? I did. That book's surprising tale made for a surprising tale. I love a book that worms its way into your heart. Yeah. Me too. And of course, you have to see Where is he? Come on, I know you're looking. Where's the pigeon? Yep, he's right there. So thank you, Mr. Higgins, for a very wonderful book. We truly enjoyed reading it. We'll see you next time.
Did you know? A tortoise's shell is not a single shell, but rather a composition of 60 bony plates. Tortoises are able to feel anything that touches their shell, even if you touch it very softly. Tortoises are mostly herbivores. Tortoises are often loners. The library has tons of books about tortoises. Visit the library to learn more.
All right, Snoozer, we're here. Let's go inside the safari. Well, Snoozer, we've got a lot of hungry animals here. Let's get feeding. Here's the camel. Look at his thick lips move back and forth. We learned about those. That's what helps him shuffle through thorny plants. Oh, that's great. What a hungry camel.
Hello, I am Snoozer.
Let's talk about some of the animals we've met today. This place has over 350 different animals and 35 different species. Now, a lot of the animals here are cattle, and just like dogs, cattle come in all sorts of different breeds. Now, a lot of us are familiar with cattle. Of course, we know cows live on farms, with the most familiar breed of cattle being called the Holstein Friesian. That's the black and white one. But let's look at a few breeds of cattle we saw today. There's the Highland cattle, the Belted Galloway cattle, the Shorthorn cattle, and this one right here might be my favorite, the Ankole Watusi. I love their long horns. Now, some of the other animals they have here are, of course, the camels, kangaroo, deer, llamas. They even have zebras here, but it was a little too chilly out today for the zebras to want to come out. And if you look around, there's even birds here. Geese, duck, swans, and even turkey roaming around. Now it's time to go inside and meet a real tortoise. Oh, this guy's awesome. Now, tortoises don't have teeth. They have a really strong beak that they use to chew food. Their shell is part of their body, and it grows with them. So as the tortoise gets bigger, so does their shell. Now, tortoises were designed to live on the land. You can tell because they move kind of like elephants with big, thick legs, unlike turtles that have fins. Now, speaking of their legs and feet, let's take a look at them. They have these shovel-like features, which make them great diggers. And that's really important because in the desert, they need to be able to dig burrows they can go inside to keep them cool from the hot sun.
And now it's time for...
The joke of the week. What does a camel and a librarian have in common? They both have tails. Oh, thank you very much.
Well, Snoozer, what did you think of our trip today?
Oh my gosh, it was great. Those animals were huge. And I am so glad we got to see a real camel and a tortoise.
Yeah, desert animals are so fascinating to learn about because they live in a really tough environment. Not a lot of precipitation and water, as we talked about. So they have all these interesting abilities, and they do so many cool things to adapt to their surroundings. We talked about some desert animals today in some books, but now I want to go to the library and check out so many more books about the camels, the coyotes, the tortoises, all the other desert animals that we didn't even talk about yet today. So, pretty exciting, and you know what? Pretty soon, we're going to be going on another trip and meeting with different animals. But don't even ask, Snoozer, because it's always a surprise on our next Reading Road Trip.